Hi guys, it's me, Skeptical Nessie, and welcome back to my channel. On today's episode, we're going to be doing something new. I have decided to start a new world, and this world is a Meadows only biome. But you'll actually see that directly in front of me, we got something really cool because we actually have some dark oak, which don't actually spawn here. So once I'm a little more geared up and ready to face that, we're going to head over and steal some of that dark oak from those villagers. But we also have a village over here in the corner, so let's go see what they have to offer us. I'm gonna be taking this let's play really slow, kind of like I did on the last one, but maybe even a tad slower. I don't believe we actually have access to the end in a meadow biome. I will need to look and see, but I'm fairly certain strongholds don't spawn in Meadows. Maybe biome doesn't matter though, and maybe we actually do have access to the end. I have no idea. We'll have to look into that. We definitely have access to the nether. The big thing that we're going to be restricted on is actually more decorative blocks, and I have always loved doing these kinds of challenges in Minecraft where you sort of set yourself limitations to the game and play from there and see what you can do. My favorite version of that whole mechanic is Skyblock, but I don't like recording Skyblock. I play Skyblock on my own, but I don't enjoy recording it because you just end up sitting at a cobble generator forever. Let me know, though, if you would actually be interested in watching a Skyblock Let's Play at some point. I mean, I genuinely love Skyblock. I have no problem playing it, but, yeah, so just let me know. So let's collect these hay bales, though, for some food. And I guess I should also just kind of get into a little bit of where I've been for the last few months. As you guys probably know, I left and I said I would be back in May. And it's going to be August 1st when this video goes up. So essentially what ended up happening is that buying a house from the 50s comes with it a lot of challenges you cannot anticipate. And I started doing the reno on this house, and then we had to completely repair the entire subfloor in my kitchen, like down to the studs, replace the entire subfloor. It was such a mess. I'm so lucky that I have a family that loves and supports and helps me when I do crazy things like tear out subfloors. So they made it a lot easier, but it ended up taking me 2 months to get the house ready. And then after that, I was so drained, like just physically, emotionally, creatively, however you say that. I just couldn't play Minecraft. I took about I don't know, 2-3 weeks off where I didn't do any gaming at all. I just came home and slept after work. So I'm actually feeling really good now, though, and I'm so ready to get back into playing. I do apologize for the way that I kind of left you guys hanging. That was never my intention, but life is what it is, so let's just make some bread and get back into playing Minecraft. I am thinking, because this whole world is meadow anyway, I don't want to get too far from a spawn, so let's just use this little valley right here as our starting spot. Oh. Okay, so my goal for today is not actually to build a starter home. It's more to just get some basic gear collected. One of the things about this challenge that's going to be like a godsend is the Wandering Trader. So we're actually looking forward to seeing a Wandering Trader. I'm hoping we get a couple today because the only wood types we have available to us are oak and birch, and the birch are very rare. So I think we're going to actually start by seeing if we can collect ourselves a birch. The other thing about this world is that I am actually updated all the way to 1.21.7. So if pigs spawned in this world, and if cows spawned in this world, we'd have them. But we can't actually make saddles, so I don't remember if horses can spawn in a meadow biome or not. But sheep can. We'll have plenty of food via sheep. I don't know why I'm running off before I actually make the tools that I need. So let's just make some tools. Upgrade ourselves real quick. And then we might as well grab ourselves a sword. And then I'm going to build ourselves a pillar here so we can find where we actually plan to start the world out. But we're going to take all of this stuff with us. And I think my main goal is going to be to see if I can find a birch tree. And then we also do want to tackle that villager outpost if we can get ourselves so geared today. So they might actually have spruce saplings in them. But I wonder if that's biome specific. See, there's just so many things that you just don't think about until you're in the world and adventuring. So while we're murdering some sheep really quick, I guess the other important thing to talk about for the channel in the future is that I have joined an SMP called Stonevania, and you guys will be seeing recordings from that very soon, actually. I think my goal is going to be to do one episode of Stonevania, and then the following week do an episode of this world, and then just back and forth. So every other episode will be from the multiplayer world and then from the single player world. We'll see how that goes. I don't want to commit to that too hard yet because I genuinely don't know how it's all going to end up working, because I am still a PhD student, still have a full-time job, and am trying to do this whole YouTube thing. So we'll see how that all goes. But I think it's time to tackle this. And I know I said I was going to get geared up first, and we're going to need a boat at the very least. So let's go find some... Oh, there is sand. That's very interesting. So we have sand and gravel. That opens up a lot of building blocks for us, and we have a lot of dye. I think the only dye that we're really going to be struggling for, or we won't actually have it unless traders sell us the dye, is green. We don't have access to green. We got lapis still. I believe we have red, and we have yellow and all sorts of other colors. But let's go get this oak tree. And we also need to collect the saplings, because as you can actually see, there are not a lot of oak trees even in this biome. Oh yeah, here we go. Red. I think we actually have access to every dye except for green. Oh my goodness. Okay, we will need to come back for this when we get a chance, but for now, we're just gonna have to take the wood. I want this to be a very bee-themed world, or insect-themed world. So we'll see how we can go about that. Wood. Oh, and then I guess the other thing I haven't talked about is I do have a new skin. This is related to the SMP. So more on that when I actually release my SMP video. And let's take this wood. We're gonna need to stay here. Nope. No, I don't want to die. I do not want to die. Now we just gotta wait for some leaves to despawn. Ooh, there's... I knew there was emeralds, but of course we also have the villagers, so we have plenty of access to emeralds. We should... Oh, a baby bunny! We should probably get the villager trading hall going fairly quickly, because when the wandering trader does spawn, there we go, we want to have access to the emeralds from the villagers. So they'll also open up a lot of blocks for us having access to them. So got only 2 saplings from this. Got a couple more leaves. Oh, I see a sapling there. Donkey! I only got mildly sidetracked. So I don't know if we have access to horses, but we at least have donkeys, so that's cool. Okay, I don't have the patience to wait anymore. There we go. I really want the birch, so let's continue adventuring and see if we can find any birch. I think they all have beehives on them. which is awesome. We need beehives, so not complaining. Don't want to wander too far so early. Oh, I don't think there's sugarcane. I don't think there's sugarcane in this biome. That is going to make things a lot harder. Hi, bunny. Bunnies are probably going to have to be our primary source of leather in this world because there are no cows. So, don't get too attached to the bunnies. Yeah, I'm starting to think there aren't horses. There's only... Oh! Just realized. I think donkeys drop leather. So we could also get leather from the donkeys. Which is worse, killing a donkey or killing a bunny rabbit? I don't know. I was starting to wonder if I was mistaken about birch trees and maybe they don't actually spawn and that's something we're going to need to get also from the trader. I'm gonna explore for maybe 15 more minutes and see if I can find a birch and then we're gonna have to just give up for now. I spoke a minute too soon. Look, here we go. Thought birch did spawn in Meadows. It looks like every tree we have is going to end up having a beehive on it, which is pretty cool. Hopefully we get a sapling here. Oh, there we go. Got at least one. Get one. Alright, let's wait for these to despawn and then we will head back home. I think these are actually fairly rare. So I was really surprised when I logged in and that was like the first thing I saw. Ooh, another birch tree. My goodness, the door was all the way back this way. Got this, we got this, we got this. Oh, armor trim. Okay, so it doesn't have saplings. It has a little bit of wood, and obviously we can eventually tear this whole thing down. Oh, and get more wood. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Kinda hoping I could jump into the water. Okay. That was not bad at all. Did think they had saplings in them. So, I don't know if that's just that they don't in this biome, or if that one just didn't have it, or if I'm just mistaken. All three are equally possible. There's home over there. So let's get ourselves kitted up in iron gear now. Because I think if we get some iron, we can also make a saddle. And then we can get ourselves a donkey as a friend. Oh, we don't have regular squid, but we have glowing squid. Interesting. Doesn't get us what we need, but it's interesting. there was nothing that way. We should get some of this, though. This is probably going to be a major component of my builds and build style because we don't have as much access to color. Okay, let's get this armor. And we got a little bit of iron to spare, which is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna dig down. I'm just gonna get us down to diamond level. I'm not gonna actually hunt diamonds today. Okay, so we've managed to get our little area here kind of set up in a way that'll protect us. And I got all of the blast furnaces, or I mean, sorry, all of the different kinds of furnaces. I think the last thing that we're really going to do this episode is to trap a couple of these villagers so that we can start the trading hall. I really want to have a trading hall kind of going before the first wandering trader shows up. So we can trap a couple in their houses. I've been thinking a little bit about what I want to do in this world for the villagers, because I don't really want to just put them in a 1x1 or I guess a 1x2 hole. And do a villager trading hall. But I also don't want to do what I did in the Cozy Minecraft series where I had a free range village, because I found locating a specific villager with a specific trade actually really difficult in that world. And while I don't need a ton of books in that world, so it wasn't that big of a deal, in this world we're going to be relying on the villagers a bit more just for like just for like building blocks. So I think we're actually going to need a lot of masons, because masons are going to give us access to blocks that we don't otherwise have. So we're going to need to be able to find specific villagers. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to set up a village like we did in the Cozy Minecraft world, but instead of them being free range, I think I'm going to trap them into their individual houses. So like the librarians are all going to be trapped in a library, and the masons will probably be in a stone quarry, things like that. I think the farmers should probably be the first villagers we do, because they have a lot of food trades, and then the next would probably be the archers. But let's just focus today on setting up a place for the farmers. So we're going to need to collect a lot of birch, cobble, and oak to build this. It's pretty much the only blocks we have available to us. We do also have some these types of blocks, you know, hidden in villages throughout the world. We're probably going to want to go grab those from the villages that we're not planning on actually using for villagers. So this is going to be the villager, or the village that we use for villagers. So right now we just need to do some tree chopping to collect some resources, and this probably just turned into a montage, so I will see you in a bit. Oh my goodness, we got a wandering trader. Oh, I don't think I have anything to trade with him. Sir, what do you want? Oh my goodness. Black dye is really big for us, and the cyan dye, and obviously this pickaxe. Okay. See how many emeralds I've managed to collect. I do know there's some over there, so I might go grab them. Four. We do have long as we keep one potato, we can bake these. Let's bake those. Let's go grab some emeralds really quick. Is the trader still alive? Okay, he is.
Huh?
Come here, sir.
Mm-hmm.
7. We aren't going to be able to get everything this go around.
Uh-huh. Huh. Huh. Huh.
9.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all we're gonna have the money or emeralds for right now. I'm not gonna kill the guy because if we can get some more emeralds before he despawns, it could be useful for us, so not going to kill him. But I did grab the 2 dyes I think are going to be the hardest to come by. And let's get back to collecting resources for this. I need to go get... I'm going to harvest all of this, and then I'm going to go tear down that village that we're not using for the cobblestone and the mossy cobble. I actually think if we ever get jungle trees, we will be good on vines. And I do believe that the trader will eventually offer us those, so. I also want to steal the... started raining. As I was talking, I was gonna say I'd like to also steal their brewing stand so that we can get ourselves a cleric. But mostly we are here for the mossy cobble bits. Because we are going to, until we get renewable vines or mossy cobble is going to be kind of hard for us to acquire. So we will just steal it from this church. Oh, we should also take this terracotta. I'm gonna take this. Sorry, sir. I know this is your house, but I need it. Oh, get out of my way. I'm just trying to yoink your house. So I ransacked that village a little bit. As you can see, there's some blocks missing. But I did break my pickaxe, so we're going to just head back home. I think that I've got enough building blocks, honestly, to get started. Unlike in my previous series, the Cozy Minecraft that I did, I don't plan on doing a whole lot of building and creative before I build in this world. I just kind of want to come on this world and build. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes when you're recording, it can be a bit difficult actually to just jump on a world and build, but I kind of want to give that a go. So let's see how it goes. I'm just going to harvest these trees and replant them, and then I need to hop into the mines and get some more iron because I actually have 1 iron ingot left, and that's not really enough. So oh, there's so many bushes on the ground. I mean, saplings. So let's just replant all of these before we head into the mine because we don't want to just have trees standing here when we could be growing more. And I could really use that silk touch because of the number of beehives that are being produced. Okay. Let's go mining really quick. gosh, that's a lot of iron. I don't think I'm even going to collect it all. Yeah. I really should have brought... Oh. Expect to see that. Okay, let's head back to the surface because we need to smelt all this iron. Alright, so I'm just heading back down to collect the last of the stuff that we couldn't collect because our pickaxe broke. And I'm probably going to call that quits on the resource collecting for today. And then we're actually going to build some stuff. Here we do. Here we do. Here we go. Okay, let's get this. Ooh, let's go back underground till some of this stuff just spawns. What I need. There we go. What I need is actually an axe. Go, we got our sticks. Okay. I haven't decided. So this is kind of what we're working with. And I don't know where I want to put our area. I'm honestly thinking this little area here. So let's go explore and open the map up a bit here. And then I also want to do this. So let's go explore this pillager tower really quick and see if there's anything useful. You will still have access to alleys, which is interesting. Oh, up. We got a goat horn. Actually, one of the better goat horns, in my opinion. Oh! Look! Let's go there. Remove this temporary waypoint. Let's go over here and see what is in this nether portal. I didn't realize those could spawn in Meadows. There's also another village here. I'm honestly thinking this is where we're going to put our area, our build area. Which means we might use those villagers instead of trying to transport villagers from all the way over there. Let's see. might actually have another portal here. Let's see. Look at that. Oh no, we're gonna have to replace that. Oh, that hurt. Okay, so I think we're going. Ooh, go ahead and grab that since we're here anyway. Hi, sheep. And let's go ahead and break this. This is gonna take like forever, but there we go. We broke it. And now we've got another portal. And pop that up there. We just need a piece of gravel. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and light this, even though I don't plan to use it today. So we're gonna use this as our village area, and I think I might even try to utilize this at some point as well. And that means we can actually use these villagers to populate it instead of dragging villagers from all the way over there. So let's find a bed. Yep, there's another one over here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and raid this one as well. And this is going to be the last one we raid. I just keep stumbling across these and the allure of raiding them is too strong. So let's go see if there's anything good. So let's take a look at our map really quick. I'm thinking that the farm area should be near the lake or here. I think it's gonna be here. So let's put for a waypoint, and let's go check that area out and see if I actually like it. So this is the area that I had marked as a good place for the farm. And I actually still think it's going to be a good one. So let's go ahead and do a tiny bit of terraforming. I'm going to just cover this hole and we're going to pretend we don't know about it. That is the solution to problems sometimes. Oh, a wandering trader! Sir!
Huh.
Water bottle. We can do water bottle. Oh, fire bush. Dark oak. Okay. Stay there, sir. Go get some water bottles. Oh, you still here? Awesome.
Huh. Huh. Huh.
Only 2. 5 for a single sapling. We've been set on a side quest by these dark oak saplings that just appeared. So what I'm going to try and do... Rabbit just got killed by a cat. What I'm going to try and do is get this fletching table. I believe is here. Yes. And we're going to put it...
Huh. Huh.
Okay, we're gonna trade a bunch of sticks with this guy and get his many emeralds as we can to trade with our trader. Because I really want a firefly bush, and I really want the dark oak saplings. So we're going to end up using most of these wood that I gathered for my building project here, but it'll be worth it. Okay. Close this back up so they don't get killed. And let's go see if we can get what we want from this wandering trader now. Come here, sir. I would like to buy some wares from you. Okay. We need to get 4 of these. Get 1 of these. I'll buy 1 spare of those. And we're gonna buy a couple stacks of that. Okay. Now we've unlocked a new wood type. Let's go ahead and build this farm. I don't exactly know what I want to do here. I'll need to start by cleaning out some grass so we have a flat space to look at, but I don't really know what I want yet. I do know that I want there to be carrots and pumpkins that the 2 farmers can use to reproduce, and then I also want to have a hidden like villager breeder inside of the house somehow. I don't really know what that's gonna look like. Okay, so I've laid out kind of the basic shape of this house and put the farms around the outside here. I think this is actually setting up quite nicely. Obviously haven't done any detailing. I've just sort of laid out the shape. And I think we can put the entrance to the villager breeder here, but I kind of have to think how I want that to look. Because I want, when you walk in to this house, I don't want you to notice that it's a villager breeder. I want it to look like a house, and then there just essentially is a secret villager breeder under the floor. So I don't know how we're gonna do that just yet. Till then, let's go ahead and build up these walls. Backside's gonna look odd being that wide, ain't it? Might have to change. Alright, so I've been working on this, and freehanding roofs are not my strong point. I don't know if this back side of the roof is actually going to work, but we're gonna give it a go. See how it turns out. Saying, when I started to actually put the roof on, I realized this was about 2 blocks too wide, because this wall was 7 wide and this wall here was only 5 wide, and we want this to be the widest wall or equal to the widest wall. Otherwise this would end up being the tallest apex of our building, and we don't want that. So I knocked the walls in by 2, and now the apexes should all be fairly equal. The front one will be the shortest, but we want that because it's kind of like the front porch, and typically those are a little shorter, so we made that a bit narrower. So I think it'll be 2 blocks shorter, but let's break this and let's finish putting this roof on. All right, so we've actually finished the first little house here. On the outside, I've got one side is planted to carrots, and then the other side over here has a few potatoes growing in the back corner. I do think that most likely at some point they will all end up. Oh my goodness, I broke a potato. They'll probably all end up converting over to carrots because I've noticed that that happens if you give them access to both, but we'll just hope that it works out okay. And then here in the inside of the house, we've actually got a villager breeder set up, and then I use these banners to sort of hide the fact that there's a giant hole where the baby will jump through. But I think when you're actually just standing here, it kind of just looks like someone has like a curtain set up and then a bedroom is tucked behind that curtain. So I actually really like the way it looks. I do think eventually I will replace this pillar with bookshelves to kind of add to that fill. But this does need to be a place that a villager can't actually stand. So I had to block it off. And then they've each got their 2 composters here, and they are set to doing their job. Everything's lit up so no monsters can spawn. So we're actually ready to be able to trade with these guys. But it's probably going to be a while before we actually start trading with them because we need them to start making us babies. The babies will, for the time being, just fall down here and then end up just running around down here. But I will eventually set it up so that the babies get pushed. I just realized I've made a mistake by jumping down here. But I'm going to make it so that the babies get pushed into a system where I can then push a button to release a new baby when I want to. And then obviously this is set up so that they actually can't leave this house, but it looks like they could, and then I can leave and enter the house easily. I just got this front step here that keeps them inside. Thank you. So the only thing about this house that, like, from the front, I think it looks really cool. The side profile of this house is a little bit odd, and every so often I just catch myself kind of laughing because it's definitely misbalanced in a way that looks kind of funky, but I am going to leave it. I think once we build up the other houses around the area, it won't be so noticeable that it's off like that. But I do really like it. I like the yellow terracotta that we were able to find and use. And I like the white terracotta as well. Oh, I just realized it's missing some oak. Let's go ahead and fix that before we wrap this episode up. All right, I think that is going to be the conclusion of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. And that's going to be the conclusion of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. Next week, I think we're going to try and add a sheep farm in because I think wool blocks are actually going to be one of our main sources of color in this world. So I want to get a wool farm going as soon as possible and a shepherd hut. So that will be our goal for next week. Can't wait to see you then. Bye!